Welcome to the Becoming Sound podcast, where we dive into the tough stuff and try to find the humor in the hot mess of being an adult child. Join me as we peel back the layers on growing up in dysfunction, navigating substance abuse, mental health challenges, and everything in between. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Becoming Sound and Oversharing with Shannon. I'm Krista.
I'm Shannon. Hi.
And this is May. And we're going to be talking about what we've learned this year because we both just recently turned 56.
Yeah, happy birthday to us.
Happy birthday. Okay, this is not for you, Winnie.
Okay, Winnie.
So, and this is Winnie.
Jaunty in her
And
hoodie.
look at her hoodie. Come show the people.
Oh, now you're shy?
Now you're shy.
Come show them.
Look at her hoodie.
Okay.
I'm
not the girl who dresses her dog. Like, that kind of drives me. But she also got like a shave this week. And it was the week that it's so cold outside.
Yeah.
So yeah, I noticed she was like vibrating, shivering. I was like, you need a hoodie.
She has a hoodie.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
She's cute.
Till she grows out a little
Yeah.
bit.
Pip's hiding behind me, so.
That's okay.
Yeah, he doesn't like the limelight so much. You know, he's not about it, but the girls are, right?
Yeah.
The girls are.
The limelight.
All right. Okay. And like usual, Winnie's just going to have her ass in the picture the whole
That's
time
fine.
until
Just
the
get it out
last
of the
5
way.
minutes.
Yeah. Shake your booty for the camera.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyways.
All right. So we thought we would talk about what we've learned over this past year. Because honestly, lots has happened,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it has been a year.
I think we've both grown like immensely.
Right. Yeah. We were just kind of like, okay, well, let's kind of work our birthday into it. The fact that this next one is sort of right around when we just had our birthdays. And we were just thinking like, what could this be? Could this be sort of maybe lessons we learned this year? Things we learned about ourselves this year, maybe.
Yeah.
Like what are the takeaways after this year? Because you're right, like lots has happened for sure. So
And I went to Starbucks to grab cherry chais for us because I think they're going like away.
yeah.
And, one thing I have learned is that if you want the cherry chai, just get the fucking cherry chai.
Yeah.
Right? Life's too short.
Yeah, for sure.
We don't have it every day, but life's too short not to indulge once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that brings me to when I was at Starbucks, we were waiting for the drinks and the lovely person at the window was asking me what I was doing today. So I just said, I'm going to record a podcast and hang out with my best friend. And she's like, oh, that's awesome. And what's the podcast about? And then, so I told her, and then they're telling me about like stuff that's happened with them in the last little bit, right? And I think she said, well, I'm in my 30s. My immediate thought was, yeah, wasn't it fun?
Oh, 30s.
My immediate thought was, oh, to be 30 something again.
Yeah.
But the topic today is like what we've learned. And I'm telling you, if I was to go back to my 30s, that was a hot mess.
Yeah.
Some days.
I was just thinking that. I was like, oh, 30. And there's
I
like,
know.
yes, to be young again, great.
To be young again.
But to be in the place that I was at in
yeah,
my 30s,
mentally and like
there.
what I knew, I think,
Mm-hmm.
my immediate thought was, I'm so glad we're having this conversation today because I've learned so much. Being in mid-50s is like such a gift, I think, for the amount of stuff that I've learned about myself and how I feel about myself. I never felt this way about myself in my 30s. No way.
No.
I was too busy and overwhelmed and survival mode and trying to please everybody and do everything and be, a mom and a wife and all this stuff.
And like comparing yourself to other people.
Exactly.
And being whoever other people want you to be. And just
trying to keep up with the Joneses, like all of that kind of stuff. So would I go back? No. Would I love to get rid of the wrinkles and stuff on my face? Sure.
Yeah.
But I think that comes with wisdom. So I'm excited to have this conversation today.
Yeah. So you start. What kind of things have you sort of...
So I wrote some things down and I had to stop because I realized I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
So one thing I really learned a lot about probably in the last 6 months since I've been doing the unfiltered AF talks. Anyways, what I've learned from the talks is that I can actually manage the emotion of fear that comes up because it used to be really, really strong for me. And I didn't know how to handle it. I would really just shut down or shy away from doing the thing that caused me so much fear. Like
Mm.
I realized I missed a lot of opportunities because I allowed the fear to take over.
Mm.
And I didn't realize how much came up until that first talk in January. And I had talked in front of other people several times in my life. And I was super nervous too, but I kind of pushed through it. But
Mhm.
it was something different. It was like DEFCON 5.
Mm.
And I was having all this, like, I can't do this. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, who do I think I am? You know, what
Mm.
if they don't like me? All of this stuff. And I think we
Yeah.
all have that come up. But I realized after being talked off the ledge by my two co hosts, which was great, it was literally in that moment that I realized I just have to show up as me and
Yeah.
that'll be okay.
Mhm.
Right. And that just really dissipated the fear. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what it was about me telling myself that, but I really sunk into that. Like, it was like this deeper knowing.
Mhm.
And then I sat with that and I really grounded myself for a couple of days and I realized the fear didn't come back. It
Mm.
got closer and closer to the event and I'm like, I still don't feel the fear. And
Yeah.
that's fantastic. And that night we had an awesome time.
Mhm.
I didn't feel scared. I said whatever came up. There was no script. So public speaking mostly for me, but being able to show up when I'm afraid has really like transformed for me. And
Mhm.
I've learned that if I really sink into being authentic and just showing up as me,
Mhm.
that fear actually starts to dissipate and it starts to shift into more of an excitement
Mhm.
and a calm and a knowing, right?
Well, I think because you've lived so much as I think I have as well,
Mhm.
so much of your life as like that you, authentic you.
Mhm.
First of all, who the hell is that? It's
Yeah.
taken us so long to even
Mhm.
figure out who we are. But just that maybe the authentic you isn't somebody people want to see or hear from.
Right. And
And
it
so
wasn't
it's that
safe before.
yeah, it's
I
that
yeah,
fear like of judgment, that fear of when you're
rejection.
saying to yourself, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
It's actually the fear that other people are watching you going, who does she think she is? Do you know
Exactly.
what I mean?
And when I look around the room that night, nobody's thinking
Nobody
that.
is.
They're all
Exactly.
having the same thoughts as me is, do I really want to go to this? Do I go in first?
Yeah.
Like by myself? Should I wait for my friends in the
Uh-huh.
car? Like, everyone has this level of fear and I realized that the more we show up and the more you do it being your true self,
Mhm.
the less fear you have.
Well, and I mean, that's the whole reason that people are going to those
Yeah,
events is they
exactly.
all feel the same way. They're
Exactly. Yeah.
all, and so
Mhm.
again, that's like the community talking, right?
It
You've
is.
you've sort of found that community of people who you guys all kind of are feeling that same thing and
Yeah.
you support each other. And when
Yeah.
you were up there, I'm sure you probably had a moment of like, "Ooh," right?
Yeah.
When you're talking and you just sort of remember yourself for a second and go,
Mhm.
"Oh, I'm in front of all these people." And then you're feeling the supportive energy of
Yes.
everybody
Yeah.
in that room, and then it's gone, like
Yeah, 100%. And the
yeah.
more I do that, the more events we have, the more I stand up there, the more I realize that it's the energy of all the people in the
Mhm.
room and they're there for the reasons that are the same as mine
Yeah.
and that we're all just in it together. So community and connection has been huge in
Mhm.
coming to that.
Mhm.
And then that brings me to my second one, really coming back to my authentic self faster and more with more clarity than I have in the past. So when stuff comes up like perfectionism or people pleasing or I find myself reacting or responding to a situation from my old programming,
Mhm.
I'm able to reel myself in a lot faster. Like I'm
Mhm.
able to pause and be like, "Oh, wait, this doesn't feel right."
Yeah, yeah.
And so then I can recalibrate
Uh-huh.
and be like, "Okay, this is how I'm going to show up. This is how I
Yeah.
want to show up."
Yeah.
So I'm able to do that faster. Whereas before it would be this conversation and rumination inside my head that would take me out of being my true self.
Mhm.
So I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Um, and number three, clarity and confidence isn't something you find. It actually shows up when I stop abandoning myself and show up as my true self in situations and in my life and work.
Mhm.
So you can read self help books, all this kind of stuff on confidence, but nothing really enables you to be more confident and show up more confident and with more clarity than actually doing the things.
Mhm.
and being your true self in the process. I thought I could read my way in to being more confident,
Mm.
and you just can't. You have to actually put
What do you
yourself
mean
in
read your way in? Do you mean like just
self-help.
reading self-help
Yeah,
books and it's like,
self-help, learning
after I'm done
knowledge,
this
like
book, I'm gonna feel confident?
exactly, like accumulating knowledge.
Mm.
There's nothing wrong with accumulating knowledge, but if you think it's going to change how you show up and how you react in
Yeah,
situations, yes, the knowledge and awareness is great. It's
right.
first step,
Put it
but
into
that
action.
truly comes in action.
Yeah,
And that is learning how to check in with myself. And it's a process. It's not something that just came overnight. This has been a long time in me practicing this.
yeah,
But all of a sudden, like things start to click and shift. And so this past year has been a lot of those aha moment, and then it just clicks and something transforms within
yeah,
me.
yeah. Okay. Well, mine are a bit more like specific to some things that have happened this year,
Oh, okay.
where there were sort of like lessons within them. I
Oh,
think the biggest one was my dad had a health scare
yes.
just a couple like within the last month
Yeah.
and a half.
Yeah.
And I was just sort of so, when something happens to someone in your family, like you just go into
Hmm.
like action mode kind of
Yeah.
thing. And they live a few hours from here. And so it was sort of a middle of the night drive
Hmm.
there. And thankfully he's gonna be okay. And it was kind of a bit of a miracle. The timing of it all, I think,
Yeah.
was what saved him. But I realized as I was out there, because sometimes, being with your parents, especially when there's some baggage there,
Hmm.
it can go one or two ways, right? It can
Hmm.
either be really triggering or it can be really healing.
Hmm.
And actually felt the latter. I felt like it was really healing being out there. I felt
Mm,
like my mom and I um, kind of bonded over like this experience of kind of me being there for her and me being
nice.
able to be there for her
Yeah.
in that moment. And and we had a couple of really good talks. And I think the lesson that I came away from that was, oh, I think I'm over it. I mean, I knew I was over it. Do you know what I mean? I knew
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was. I
Yeah.
knew it, but and because it's been like over the course of the last few years,
Hmm.
it's been a lot better with my parents and I, and I've sort of put a lot of stuff away and just tried to just move forward. And but there's always still a little bit of that
Hmm.
wall that's there, like the just in case wall, I think.
Yeah. But
Um,
isn't that kind of what I was saying, like that moment in time where
yeah,
something
you've
just
got to be in
changes?
totally. You've got to be in that
Yeah.
moment,
Yeah.
and then reflecting like after that and going, huh. Like, I didn't feel any of that old stuff
Right.
bubbling up with them. I think it was like, I don't know, it was just after all of that had happened and while it was happening and then after as I'm driving home and I was thinking about it and I thought, "Yeah, you know what? I think it's that's done and I don't feel that resentment anymore." I felt, a lot closer to both of them. I felt, um, needed.
Mhm.
I think, which is a nice feeling, like, I felt needed
Yeah.
by them. I felt their gratitude for me being there.
Yeah.
I felt gratitude for them being there, for my dad's health and for,
Mhm.
yeah, for all of it. I felt like it was sort of, it's put to bed.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, and so that was, like, a good moment, like, coming out of kind of a really
Yeah.
scary
So how does
time.
that make you feel?
Lighter. I
Yeah.
just feel lighter, and I feel like, you know, I already like I said, I already felt like I was already there,
Mhm.
but to actually see it in action and to see me not slipping into old patterns with
Mhm.
them or to get my back up about things, it was
Yeah.
just very much just, a daughter wanting to be there for their parents kind of
Yeah.
thing. And yeah, I don't know. it was very healing, I think, for me coming home and having that sort of
Mhm.
realization as I was driving, like, huh, I think we're good.
Yeah.
Think
That's
we're
so
good.
beautiful, Shannon,
Yeah.
because I think that what I'm getting from that is that, when something happens, when later in life, for us, midlife, but our parents are aging.
Yeah.
And so there could be little things that we're holding on to, or, maybe you out there are holding on to little things. And when a situation like an emergency situation brings you in, there's this. veil that drops
Mm,
and you realize that
none of it
none
matters.
of it matters. Like all
Totally.
of this stuff really didn't matter. What matters
Yeah.
is the love that you have between
Yeah.
each other
Yeah.
because that's stronger than that's it's I'm not going to say that it's stronger than any hurt because it's not. There are
But
a lot of people who get hurt out there.
that was the thing. It
But
was
for us
yeah.
and our situations, I think that just having that feeling of peace with your
Yeah.
parents
Totally.
at this stage in their
Yeah.
life,
Yeah. I was gonna
right?
say, like, that both can be true. You
Yeah.
can still like, it's like
Yes,
you
that's
being
right.
able to forgive, to heal, to have peace, to make peace
Mhm.
doesn't deny that any of those things
That's
happened.
right. Yeah.
And I think some of us hold on to it because it's like, well, it happened though. I don't want to forget that it happened. I don't want to, it did happen. I know
Yeah.
that, but it doesn't mean that that has to define our relationship moving forward, especially if both of us, or I guess all three of us have made that effort to do
Mhm.
so.
Yeah.
Like both can exist.
Yeah.
And
And
it's so,
forgiveness is for us.
yeah,
Like it's your power to release it
that's
from
right.
you
Yeah.
and move into that space with your parents and
Mm-hmm.
just feel more peaceful,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's about. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean it didn't happen,
No, of course. I
Our
think that
past is always there. You can't just go back and change it and erase it,
yeah.
but
Mhm.
you can think about it differently
Yeah.
and show up differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was like I just felt an overwhelming love for my parents
Yeah.
and appreciation for them, and I felt their love for me
Yeah.
when I
Oh,
was
that's so
there, so that
nice.
was
I'm so
really
happy
nice.
for you.
Thank you. My brother, not so much. That's a different episode. Well, we've had that episode, but he
Yeah,
was
but
he
yeah.
was there, and for the most part, it was fine, but yeah, there were definitely things where I was just like, not today.
Not
Not
today.
today is not your day. And we actually
Yeah.
had that conversation when he started
Yeah.
with his usual stuff.
Today is not
And
your day,
yeah,
brother.
and I kind of waited till my mom was not in the room. And I'm like, you need to get it together. This needs to stop. Whatever this is, whatever energy you're bringing needs to stop. Yeah.
Hi, Peanut.
So, and it
I know,
did.
you're
So
lovely.
that was
Okay,
good.
lay down.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah. So the another thing that came up for me this year with a particular situation, which we don't need to get into, but was that I need to listen to my nervous system
Yes.
because there was
Okay,
an
lay down.
yeah,
Down.
relax.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
just
tell a story.
but
Thanks. There was a situation that came up, and it was sort of like this same situation that always bubbles up every few months or half year or whatever. And when this situation came up again, it was within the first 30 seconds of it, and
oh,
I felt all of this stuff that I think I used to equate with something else. I think I used to call
yes.
that, "Oh, that's."
Oh my
Do you know what
God.
I'm
This is
saying?
like a whole episode.
It's like I used to equate that
Yes.
feeling with, "Oh, that's butterflies," or, "Oh,
Yes.
that's yearning." No, it's not. It's not either
Oh
of
my
those
God.
things.
That's
It's your
amazing.
nervous system screaming at you, "Girl,
Yeah.
give
Stop
your
this.
give your head
Yeah.
a fucking shake." And that moment happened, and I hadn't even opened the text yet.
Oh,
All it
wow.
was it popping up and
Yeah.
me just having, like, this overwhelming reaction and recognizing it in that moment. Like, this is not what I used to think it was. This
Yeah.
sick feeling, this, like, feeling and the tightening
Mhm.
of everything, like, from your heart to your stomach to your sphincter, like, all of it. That is your nervous
Yes,
system.
she said
I said
sphincter on
sphincter
the
on national
show.
television. No, it was like this feeling is anxiety.
Yeah.
This
But
feeling
isn't
isn't
that amazing
excitement.
how it's almost like your true self recognized.
Totally, finally.
Yeah.
And I messaged Krista in
Yes.
that moment. I hadn't even opened it yet.
Yeah.
And I already knew, oh, I know what the fuck this is.
Yeah.
And I messaged Krista. I'm like, girl,
Yeah.
girl,
And we're
can
like,
I call
okay,
you?
let's read it together.
So we read it together and I wasn't
Yeah.
I wasn't anything other than furious that I'm being pulled back into
Yeah.
recognizing the language that's being used and like the manipulation that's
Hmm.
being I was like, "Oh fuck." Rolling out my sleeves. Okay.
Yeah.
And I waited a little bit and then I typed I think a pretty great
Yeah, you
response.
did. You did. It was not mean, but it was to the point. It was stuff you hadn't said before
Yeah.
and it needed to be said.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Oh,
that's
man,
the
and
end of
I
that.
basically ended it with, like, I don't ever
Don't ever. Yeah.
contact me
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. Good for
Yeah, it
you.
was like a get booked. But anyways, it felt great. Get booked. So,
Uh,
yeah, so that and so that was my lesson, and that was, like,
mhm.
listen to that, and that's what that
Yes.
is, and stop confusing that with something else. And I think I'm already at the point where I get that, but it had been so long, or not that long,
Yeah. But
but it had been a while
yeah.
since I got to put that to the test.
Yeah.
And the moment that it happened and I felt that, I was like, "Oh, I know
Oh,
what this is.
yeah. Like
This
I
is what I didn't."
recognize
Yeah,
me finally.
totally, and this is what I didn't
Love
listen
it.
to for so long, and so that's why
Yeah.
it was so harmful to me,
Yeah.
and because I was confusing it with
And that is
other
like
things.
true growth. Like that's
Oh,
amazing
yeah.
growth. Like it's on a level that you're like, you just can't describe.
No.
You feel it in your bones,
Yeah.
right? Like you
Yeah.
feel it in your core, in
Oh,
your
fuck,
soul.
and that
And
rest of
that's
my
good.
day,
Yeah.
I said to Krista, I have had a pep in my goddamn step all day. Like, I
Yeah.
felt so good
Yeah.
about what I sent, about what
It
I
was
finally
like,
said. It was patting
look
myself
at
on the
me.
back and, like, off my shoulder, and man
Yeah.
alive, I felt great.
That's amazing.
So, and then it brings me to, did we ever talk about this? But it reminded me of something I'd heard, which was listen closely to your nervous system, because people often confuse anxiety and intuition.
Yes.
And it was, if it comes to you as a question,
Mm-hmm.
then it's anxiety.
Okay.
But if
No,
it
I don't
comes
think
to
we've
you
ever
as a
discussed this.
statement, then it's
Yeah.
tuition. So
Yeah.
if the question is, um, "Oh, do you think he still likes me?"
Yeah.
Right? Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Or maybe that's a bad example.
Well, you know,
If
a
it's
good,
like, "Okay, let's say you're wondering if somebody's cheating on you."
okay.
And so you're like, "Is he cheating? Is he really where he says he's gonna be?
Yeah.
Is he cheating? Is he talking to other girls? Is he blah, blah, blah?" That's anxiety, right?
Right. Yeah.
If you're like, "Oh, he's not where he says he is.
Yeah.
Oh, he's talking to other girls.
Yeah.
Oh, I get a vibe
Statements.
from," those are statements.
Yeah.
That's your intuition.
Yeah. And the same goes for, let's put it in a different context for those safety wise. So listening to your intuition in a safety situation where you could be in danger,
Mhm.
usually your initial reaction is a statement.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel good.
This is
Something's
dangerous.
wrong.
Yeah.
This is dangerous. And then you convince yourself that
Yeah.
it's not, and the anxiety shows up.
Right. Yeah, that's
Right?
true. Yeah.
So you can use it both ways.
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
totally.
two different examples, but same thing. And
Yeah.
that is really taking a moment to think, allow yourself to think clearly
Mhm.
and really ask yourself some questions in those moments, because you then can decipher for yourself, is this really intuition or am I
Yeah.
just anxious about
Yeah.
something, right?
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
think that's such a good
Yeah,
point.
for
Yeah,
sure.
love that.
Another one is that, see, this isn't really something I've learned, but this is something I've started doing, I think because of everything I've
Mhm.
learned. This sounds so cheesy, you guys, and so I've started
We
telling.
don't do cheese at
No,
all
you
here.
guys, I started telling myself that I love myself every night.
Oh, Shannon.
I have.
That's so awesome.
So,
You make
like,
me cry.
I do. So every night when I go to bed, some people pray and whatever. I don't subscribe to that, but I feel like that in a way this is kind of like that, because I lay in bed and, like, kind of one of my last things before I go to bed is I think about all the people I love.
Mm.
And so I'll say, like, I love you, mom. I love you, dad. I love you to my kids. I
Yeah.
love you, Krista.
Yeah.
I love you to my cousin. Like, I think of all the people that I
Yeah.
feel like the deep, deep love for,
Yeah.
right? And then I always end it with, I love you, Shannon.
Oh,
Yeah, because I think
that's
that's
so
important to tell
amazing.
yourself
It
that you love
is.
yourself. And um, yeah, I don't know. I just started
You
doing
know
that
what
and it
that
feels
does? It
really good.
rewires your thought patterns in your
Yeah.
brain,
Yeah.
because we're so used to being hard on
Yep.
ourselves throughout the day. You're questioning what you're doing,
Yeah.
the rumination of thoughts in your head about,
Yeah.
you know, oh, don't be so silly, or, oh, I'm just being stupid. Like, just,
Or
and sometimes you're
criticizing
criticizing
yourself.
yourself.
Hmm.
And so what that's doing is that pattern every single night is actually
Yeah.
reprogramming the neurons in your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This sounds weird where I saw it, but it was actually on Survivor.
No,
And
really?
it was a girl who was,
Shannon still watches
I do. It's just
Survivor.
it all comes back to reality TV in the end, guys. But, she was in a challenge where she had it was like an endurance challenge, and it was hard, and it was hot,
Mhm.
and it was physically
Yeah.
draining, and she was doing this because she knows cameras are on her, so she's shouting out to her family, trying to distract herself, and
Oh,
she was
cool.
saying, "I
Yeah.
love you" to people, and then she said her own name.
Yeah.
I can't remember what her name was, but she said Sage, her name was
Oh,
Sage,
yeah.
and she was saying to herself, "I love you, Sage," and she's got her eyes closed, she's like, "I love you, Sage,"
That's
and she's like
awesome.
and I was just thinking, like, that is something we should all do. We should
I
all tell
know.
ourselves we love ourselves
Have you
because
ever seen that video of that little girl that stands on her bathroom sink? Like, stands on the counter, and she's
no.
like, "I love my house, I love my mom, I love my dad," and she's got these beautiful
Aw,
blonde. You've never seen that?
no.
Okay, if I can find that clip, and I don't know if it's copyrighted or anything, but I'm gonna put a clip in it right in the
Yeah,
middle of this.
yeah.
It is so amazing. I love my shoes. I love my outfit. I love my hair. And then she just, I love everyone, right?
Oh,
Like
that's
it's so
so
amazing. Yeah.
cute.
It's
Yeah.
an old one. She's probably in
Yeah,
her
well,
late
I mean,
teens.
empowering girls so young to
Yes.
just love themselves and,
Yeah.
yeah, be
So
grateful
here's a
and
challenge
stuff.
for you
Yeah.
out there. Try it. Like I don't, and I'm going to try it because now that you said that, I'm
Try it,
like,
it
okay, I
feels
say
great.
I have a little thing that I go through, but it doesn't end with "I love you, Krista." So
It
I'm
should.
seriously, and of course it
Yeah,
should.
it
Yeah.
should.
So
And
try
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Try that,
absolutely.
everyone.
So that brings me to, I guess, kind of like my last thing, which is like, what have I learned this year? And what I've learned is what kind of life I want.
Oh,
And I've learned that I want a life of joy, which we've talked
yeah.
about. I want a life of gratitude.
Mhm.
I want a life of integrity, like doing the right
Mhm.
thing. And I think my job is already this. I feel like I'm happiest when I'm in a life of service to others,
Yeah.
and you're doing the same thing,
Mm.
right? I'm doing and if that's what makes me feel good,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's very different than doing for everyone and not for yourself.
Yeah.
That's not the same
It's very
thing.
different.
A life of service to others is like just always being the one who wants to help you. You
Yeah.
see somebody who's lost, I'm gonna be and I am,
Mhm.
I'm annoyingly so, the one who will stop and say, "Where are you trying to
Yeah.
go?"
Yeah,
You
you're
know?
totally that
I
way. Yeah.
am. I see somebody in the lineup at
Yeah.
somewhere where they're paying for something and they don't have enough change, like, I'm gonna be digging for change,
Yeah.
like and I'm not saying that to, like, brag about myself, I'm saying, like, I can tell that this is wired into me,
Oh, heavily.
wanting
I
to
could tell you, like quite a few circumstances off the top of my head where you are like that. And I didn't call it that. What
yeah.
I call it is Shannon's very friendly and outgoing, even though
Mm.
you're very introverted. But Shannon will strike up a conversation with a random stranger in a lineup
Mhm.
or make a comment to someone passing or if someone's struggling with the door. She's like, "Oh, here, let me help you. Let
Yeah.
me help you with that."
Well, I
Right.
just feel like it's a
That's
connection to
always been
people.
you, right?
Yeah.
Like I think that's just who you are.
Yeah, I
It
think just
is.
connecting with people and just never wanting someone to feel like, um,
It's
uh,
kindness. It's just
I just
kindness
wanna
at
be
the root,
yeah, yeah,
right? It
I
is.
think and
It's just kindness.
I feel like we're all probably like that. If you're listening to this or
Yeah.
watching this, you're probably
Yeah.
watching Krista's program
Yeah.
because
Hold the door for
yeah,
people,
because that's the
you
type of
know?
person that you are,
Yeah.
and, like, I'm definitely want to be more of that, and
Mhm.
one of my favorite quotes I wanna end on this, and
Yeah.
then I'll stop talking. One of my favorite quotes is from Mary Oliver, who's a
Mhm.
poet, and I love her work, and she's passed, I think, in the last couple of years. But one of my favorite piece quotes from one of her pieces is, "Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and
Oh,
precious
yeah, I love
life?"
that. Yeah.
And life is precious,
Yeah.
and I'm grateful for it, and I think that's the theme of all of my stuff is just I have gratitude, I love my life, I
Mhm.
love my family and my friends, and love the little life I've sort of built for myself,
Mhm.
and yeah, that's just I just want simplicity and peace,
Mhm.
and yeah, that was my lesson.
This is why she's my best friend.
Mm, yeah, I love you, buddy.
I love you too. Okay, well, I've
Anyways.
learned a lot of stuff too, but um I think something that goes with that too is I always want people to feel heard and seen and
Mhm,
appreciated, right?
mhm.
Like because because I've always craved that in my life,
Mhm.
because when you feel unseen and unheard and not appreciated for all of the stuff that you do, um, you really want that more so for other people.
Mhm.
So the people out there who are, I would say, overgivers, but they're really giving and kind and they're doing a lot for other people.
Mhm.
We have this desire inside to be seen for that too. Not
Yeah.
for what we're doing, but for the level of love and stuff we
Mhm.
have inside
Mhm.
that we're
Mhm.
willing to do all that.
Mhm.
But I realized something, that I had been doing that at the cost of myself
Yeah.
for a long time. And I want people to feel seen and heard and appreciated, but I also
Yeah.
deserve to give myself that same level of care.
Yeah.
And I hadn't been. And so when I'm overwhelmed or overgiving or over functioning or trying to be everything for everyone,
Mhm.
that I have to pause and say, you know what? Am I doing this at a cost to myself?
Yeah.
And so I've really learned to like take that moment, take a deep breath and say, you know what? No, the
Yeah.
answer is no. This is a boundary for me. Or maybe I need to be seen and heard, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
appreciated.
Mhm.
So to ask for that.
Yeah.
And the last
Nice.
one that has been super hard for me, but I have learned this year, is to ask for help. Yes,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Asking for help is so difficult.
Yeah.
Being the oldest daughter,
Yeah.
taking care of everything, and growing up way too fast
Yeah.
and feeling like I had to. Asking for help has been probably one of the biggest things that I have had to get over. I will struggle to the thousandth degree. And then I will get to a level where I'm like, I literally cannot hold this
Yep. She's
anymore.
gonna blow.
She's going to blow. And and now I realize, you know what? I need help before that. I need to
Yeah.
ask before that, and that there are people willing to help me
Of
in a
course.
moment's
Yeah.
notice.
Yeah.
And that that level of trust within myself, that
Yeah.
if I ask for help, I know that there's people in my life that are going to be there
Yeah.
without judgment. And before, I thought there would be judgment, and now there's none.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it's been like this weight that's lifted off my shoulder.
Totally.
Yeah. And I love it. So
Totally.
yeah, ask for help.
That is a big one.
Yeah. That's a
Yeah.
huge one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's kind of all. I don't know. Do you got any more? Or
No,
no?
that's it. I think
Yeah.
it's just that I'm feeling 56 sounds like we should be, like, in, like, the death rattles already. It just feels so
Okay. I'm
old.
telling you right now, my hips feel like they're in the death rattles this
She's doing her
morning.
stretches, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. 56 doesn't feel any different than 55 or 50, honestly,
No,
except I do feel more I think I'm feel more at peace
yeah,
and I feel
me too.
yeah, I think
Me
just
too.
simpler is better for me and
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
feeling like 56 is going to be great.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's been a great year. And I mean, how can it not? Look at this dog in a
Look at
hoodie.
her. There's a dog in a hoodie. There's
Hey, you little sweetheart.
nothing gets better than that, except
Yeah.
dog in a hoodie on a bed with cherry
Cherry
chives
chai.
with my
Yeah.
bestie. Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah.
And shopping as soon
And
as this
shopping when
stops
we're done.
running.
And birthday lunch again, because
Birthday
we had one
lunch. Well, you
already.
gotta have 2.
That's right, because 2 birthdays,
Yeah.
right? So,
Anyway.
yeah. So, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for listening to us ramble on.
Yeah.
And we hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please share it with someone that you love, that you care about, maybe your best friend.
Yeah.
Um, and we would love to hear what you've learned about yourself in the comments. If you care to share, or send me a message. There'll be links in the show notes and stuff. And I also want to put it out there too, that if you feel like you need help with some of this, or you feel like, I'm a little lost, but maybe I need some guidance and stuff, I do coaching. So, reach out to me and we can set something up.
Mhm.
And yeah. And if you're local to the Edmonton Stony Plain area, Unfiltered AF has an event at the third Tuesday of every month. So I would love to see you out there. And we talk about stuff that we talk about here on the show.
Yeah.
And it's great because it's community and connection. And I love it. And people in real time. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah. And we're on YouTube. You can watch us on YouTube. Give us a rating, review, give us a follow for sure. Yeah. And we're so happy that you came. So have a great day.
Have a great day. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for joining me today on another episode of Becoming Sound. If this episode resonated with you in some way, please share it with someone you care about. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It helps to get this information out to more people who may need it. If you have a sec, I would love a follow on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. While you're there, hit the 5-star rating and give me a review. When you're scrolling, follow me on my social platforms, and I would love to hear your comments and feedback. Have a fabulous day, lots of love and gratitude from me. Please note, the views, information, and opinions expressed during the Becoming Sound podcast series are solely those of the individuals involved. The content of this podcast is to educate, inform, and for entertainment purposes only. This podcast series and the content presented does not constitute for medical or other professional advice or services. If you are in crisis or in need of help, please contact your medical or professional provider.